Hey guys, what up? Wanted to review a movie that just came out, I think Tuesday. It's called Mandy, put out by RLJ Entertainment. Starring Nicolas Cage, directed by Panos Cosmatos, who directed Beyond the Black Rainbow, which was like a sci-fi 2001 kind of throwback, really trippy, out there sci-fi exploitation movie. But this is and also I gotta point out his dad is a director also of one of my favorite films of all time, Cobra, and he directed Tombstone and a bunch of other movies. But it's cool the fact that this is the son of the Cobra director. But the movie is amazing. I'll start off this review by saying it's Halloween is still my favorite movie of 2018. Hereditary was after that, but this beat Hereditary. So right now, as of now, the top three is Hereditary, then this, then Halloween. But yeah, this movie was right up my alley. It's I for some reason I didn't want to see it just because of the name, and the cover didn't really do it for me, and just the colors of it and everything. It just wasn't really, I wasn't feeling it. But I've heard way too much hype to kind of ignore it, so I was like, figure I'll just pick it up, whatever. And I'm really glad I did, because essentially Nicolas Cage is like this lumberjack, and he lives in this like cabin in the middle of the woods, really secluded, with his wife, who they spend a good chunk kind of developing that whole relationship. So needless to say, they really love each other and all that. And that's, that spends a lot of time fleshing all that out, but it doesn't get boring. It's just the way they filmed it. It doesn't get boring. And the Mandy, which is the wife, she ends up going for a walk somewhere after work or whatever, and this cult leader, he's driving by and he sees her, and he basically tells his followers, I need that woman. So they go and abduct her pretty much. And when she doesn't end up being how the cult leader wanted her to be, they end up killing her. And that's not a spoiler, they pretty much give this away in the trailer, but yeah, they pretty much end up killing her in front of Nicolas Cage's eyes. And then the second half of this movie is just Nicolas Cage going ape, you know what I mean? Just getting revenge on the whole cult. And that's the general plot, putting it simply. you know, the way this movie feels is really hard to explain. It takes place in '83. It feels really nostalgic, but it's not like It or Stranger Things. It's like like really subtle nostalgia. Like Mandy will be wearing like a Motley Crue or a Black Sabbath shirt or whatever, and even like the title sequences they throw up, like in the very, it's broken up into three different segments. Even the title sequences are really nostalgic, retro feeling, and it's based off of like '80s like fantasy, like Dungeons and Dragons and just Mad Max, and there's like some Hellraiser thrown in there because there's like these hell bikers that get summoned when they blow the horn of Abraxas or something like that, and these like bikers come out wearing these like spikes, and they look like Cenobites pretty much. And even the way they arrive in the house is like Hellraiser, with the piercing light coming through the walls, and it kind of has like a shutter effect to it and everything. So I really dug that whole aspect of it. It just has a lot of Dungeons and Dragons feels too, like he's making his own sword or blade or whatever, and it's just really badass. And the cinematography in it is off the chain. Like there's one scene in particular, like where he's walking down in this like dungeon thing, and the camera's following behind him, and it looked really good. There's definitely some Kubrick, David Lynch, vibes in this movie. You could tell he got inspiration from them. But I think it's Nicolas Cage's best movie. I think everyone did a good job. The dude who played the cult leader stole the show for me. I thought he was really good actor. I mean, he really felt like a cult leader that was just really into himself. Like, didn't care about no one else except himself. I thought all the followers of the cult were really good and everything. The effects were amazing. There's some brutal stuff in it. But the one standout to me in this movie is the score. I know the dude who did the score. I don't remember his name here. Um, Johan Johansson. He just died recently, but he did an amazing score. This was a perfect final score. Like, it just sounds like a really doomy, slow, like Black Sabbath riff just throughout the whole movie. And it's just awesome. Just the doomy feel it has. It's just really sludgy, just almost like the Iron Man riff or something like that throughout the whole thing. And it's a really epic movie. There's like really epic horns in it and stuff, and it's just, I really love this movie. I think if you're gonna find, besides Halloween and Hereditary, this is definitely pick this up. This is such a good movie. Don't let the simple name or the fact that Nicolas Cage in it plays in it fool you. The hype, for me, it lived up to the hype, which is very rare for a movie. But yeah, definitely check out Mandy. It's so cheap in Walmart. I think I found this for 14 bucks or something. So yeah, and oddly enough, I just realized too, my buddy BDG Reviews up in Canada, he bought this Blu-ray up there, and I guess they have a different one because he didn't have the reversible slip or reversible cover. Where this one, the reversible cover is kind of the artwork for the cover. It's hard to see on my camera, but it's kind of like a trippy, kind of weird looking picture that kind of represents the movie more. It's hard to pick up there, but yeah, it's like a really weird, like acid kind of looking picture. But I do like it better. I like it better than the artwork that's on the slip cover, because for some reason I think the slip cover artwork sucks. But yeah, that's Mandy. Anyways, guys, peace.